My name is Patty Curran, and there's many reasons why I get to the church. Not just this church, but also another parish that my sons belong to. It's an Episcopal church as well, but I get for the greaterness of God, if I can say that, because it's not just about me. I'm only one person, and I can only do so much. And there's many times that I would love to volunteer to do other things. I would love to be part of something else. I would love to involve myself more, but I know I can't. So I pray about that, and I feel that a monetary gift, and this is what I was taught, is given for God's ultimate service, so that it will be His will to be given out to do a greater need in that day. So, I might not see where that money goes. I might not see what it does, but I believe in the power of giving to others and being part of a greater thing and a greater being and a greater group of community of Christian fellowship, to have that money go on to be part of the Christian community that I believe.
Totally makes sense. Thanks. That's why you're preaching and not me. This state's going to drive Gio crazy.
No one's going to have a microphone.
Sorry, we want to hear you.
I'm Peggy Rubel. I give out of thanksgiving to God. Thanksgiving for this community, this church community, which has supported me in many ways, known and unknown. And a place where I can be a servant to do the things that God has called me to do. Some things I have talent in and some things I don't. And I can be a servant here, but I can also reach out and I can work for Habitat and be God's servant. So really out of thanksgiving and a place where I can be a servant is why I give. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Bobby Pels. I am a low-income senior, but nevertheless, I feel as though I should support the church for obvious reasons, for all the people who do work so hard in this church, but also in gratefulness for the help that has been given to me. And on one last note, I know that some of my donation hopefully will go to people who are far worse off than I am, that are trying to live and get along. Amen.
You guys just doing this to make me run?
I'm going to take Greg's idea from earlier. I was really inspired by one of the comments that you made at the 8 o'clock service. Our building, the physical embodiment of our community, is represented by 14 pillars, 7 on each side of our chapel. Some of these pillars represent those who came before us. Some represent those who will come after us. If one of these pillars sags for even a moment, the entire structure collapses. But one of these pillars is ours, and it's our time to be sure that that one doesn't fail.
Hi, I'm Fran Gamble-Roach, and I'm going to talk about stewardship. And it's always something at time of year a lot of us maybe don't want to hear a stewardship sermon, but to me, when I hear a sermon about stewardship, it makes me realize that it's not our own hard work alone that gets us what we have in life, but it's God's grace.
Hi, I'm Cameron, and I'm here to the church for the feeling of helping somebody and possibly even changing somebody's life and maybe even making new friends, lifetime friends. But it's a good feeling to, at the end of the day when you go to bed, to say, wow, I did a nice thing, and it's an amazing feeling.
Trudy Stenberg. I have to start with a confession. This goes back about 50 years ago when I was young and naive and in a church approached about stewardship. And I thought, if I needed anything, would they give any of that money back to me? And over the years, the Lord has taught me that it's not about me, it's about Him. And everything that I have, that any of us have, came from Him, and He only asks for a small amount back. So that's why I give. And I feel so strongly about it that if I'm not in church on Sunday, I'm over here on Monday morning with my envelope. Barbara can tell you that. Thank you.
I pledge for kind of really ordinary reason, but to have something that supports something extraordinary, I guess. I guess so many of us know how hard it is to balance a budget, whether it's in our family, whether it's in our business, whether it's here at the church, and I'm lucky enough to see sort of the inside and the outside of what happens here at St. Luke's. And I think this is a community that, to me, does a finer job than any place I've seen at the mission that we have, you know, on our door back there. And I cannot think of a better investment in my time or my money.
Thank you.
Microphone even. Hi, my name's David Trimmer, for those of you that, oops, cut out on me. I'm loud enough anyway, I don't need a microphone, but this has been my church home for my family for generations, and I look back and we've been through a tough economic time the last several years. I've had my own financial setbacks with job loss and figuring out how I'm going to pay the oil bill every month and things like that. But I've been steadfast in my commitment to St. Luke's because I look at all that God has given us and all that God has given me in my life, and I make a commitment every year to raise my pledge further to finance the church. I'm going to ask a question if I can get participation for a second. A show of hands, how many people went out to eat this week? Just a show of hands, don't be shy. Okay, I'm going to make a personal challenge for you. Look at what you possibly spent to go out to eat this week, and make a commitment to pledge that amount on a weekly basis towards all that God has given you. Personal challenge. Amen.
I just want to say that I give for the support of the children, for my children and all the children involved in Christian education, and for the teachers that have given so much of their time, supported the Dominican trip that really changed my son's life, and it's such a wonderful opportunity. And I feel that this is a real church home for my children, that I always want them to feel they can always come home to this church or to the Episcopal church wherever they live. And so I think about them and the support and encouragement that it's given to them.
Jean Ann Giuliano. I suppose I give for a more personal reason. whenever you go through a challenging period in your life, you tend to lean on your faith to get you through. And for me, St. Luke's is the embodiment of my faith. It's not just the building, but it's the community. It's Father Craig, it's Father Tim, it's the people, it's the teachers who've taken care of my sons, and I feel that faith and this church have taken care of me and my family, so I feel an obligation to take care of St. Luke's, not just for me, not just for my sons, but for everyone who would ever need faith at any point in time. We have to continue and just make sure that St. Luke's and the people and the programs are here always, forever and ever, for everyone. And I believe it will be.
Hi, I'm Brett Mosby. This is Julie. We're the opposite end. We've been here now 2 months, and so this decision to pledge is a new one for us, so I'm comfortable about it. When we moved to the community, we were drawn obviously by the building, and we have stayed here because of the people in the community, and we've been very impressed with the ministry, what we all are doing here. So we feel very lucky, and so the idea of pledging for us is kind of the recognition that we want to be a part of this, and that we're thankful for where we are and the fact that we got here. So this is our investment in you all in the ministry.
I don't pledge, obviously, because I'm still a kid, but my parents do, and I was raised in this church, and one of the things, and we talked about it in Sunday school today, is that you always have, like, St. Luke's is my family, it's my second family, and it's your support group. And, like, if you're having trouble, like a family member dies, or like you're having a really hard time in your life, you have this whole church that stands behind you and gives you support. But then you're also, when you're not in need and someone else is, you're that team, and you always need teamwork in your life, and like we're a team and we always work together. So if you pledge, you're pledging not to the church, but you're pledging to your community and your other people, and you know that if you're alone in your life, there's always someone there that'll back you up here.
Thank you. Good. These Quakers are onto something, aren't they? And to think I stay up all night preparing a sermon. Someone at the end of the 8 o'clock service said, "That's the best stewardship sermon that I've ever heard." So they missed another best stewardship sermon that one could ever hear. I've always, since I came here, since I met you all, felt really fortunate to be a part of the St. Luke's community. But hearing your own stories from all ages and from all sort of angles of experience in the church just makes me know, how very blessed I am to be a priest in this community, and how blessed we are to make church together. Amen.